Hey, today I want to talk to you about one of the most underrated low income resources out there, and it's actually your local library. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out because we have a list of 7 surprising ways that your local library can help you save a lot of money. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, right? It seems really unlikely that something as ordinary as your library could make that big of a difference. But the truth is, there are a lot of resources out there, and libraries have been adapting to the changing demand. Not a lot of people go in to check out books anymore. And I remember when I first got married, we used to go to the library to check out DVDs so we didn't have to pay for rentals, but that's not such a big deal anymore either. So libraries have been adapting and they have so many more resources than they used to. So, one thing I want you to know as we dive in here is, of course, not all libraries are created equal, right? It's going to depend on what services your local library offers. That being said, I've lived in a lot of rural areas over the years, and you would be surprised what even little tiny country libraries are able to offer nowadays. Another thing you should consider is that you can usually get a free card to your local library, but for a fee, you may be able to access a nearby library system as well. And that's usually a really low annual rate to get those. So even if your community doesn't have, say, a 3D printer or a free museum pass, that's something you may be able to access if you're able to get reciprocal benefits or if you're able to pay that small fee for a membership at the other library as well. Now, another thing I want you to know is that most of these perks are not very well advertised, right? Libraries are not very good at getting the word out about these different services. A lot of times you have to ask questions to find out that they're available. We have been researching these library perks for many, many years now, and sometimes you have to dig a little bit deep to find them, but it's always worth it. So, with that in mind, let's talk about the 7 ways that your local library may be able to help you. So, first up, streaming services. You may be able to watch Netflix style shows for free through the streaming services that you can unlock with your library card. These services typically have no ads, no subscription required. You just use your library card info to get in. A lot of libraries have partnered with Hoopla, which offers movies, music, TV shows, and more. Canopy is another streaming service that a lot of libraries use, but it's got more thoughtful type entertainment to it. So you might expect to see things like documentaries, foreign films, indie cinema, that sort of thing there, but there's still a lot to watch. Freegal Music provides access to 15 million songs. So if you're paying for streaming services or you're listening to ads when you're streaming music from, like Amazon Music or whatever, you may want to consider looking at what you might be able to unlock with your library card. I've been really impressed with the selection that is available there. Another great option is that you can actually borrow the internet and take it home. Now, I know a lot of people know, oh, well, if I need to use the internet, I can go to the library, use their computers, use their Wi Fi, whatever. But a lot of libraries have started loaning out Wi Fi hotspots so that you can take home internet access for weeks or even months at a time. Some libraries let school kids borrow internet hotspots for the entire 9-month school year. It's crazy. So, if you don't have internet at home or if you need a better connection, go check out what your library offers. You may also be able to borrow laptops, tablets, or other devices to take home as well. We've seen lots of lending library type deals where you can take home a hotspot and a laptop for a couple of weeks, especially if you're looking for work or trying to complete school assignments or so on and so forth. And if this sounds overwhelming because you wouldn't know how to set it up or you wouldn't know what to do with it, the library can help with that too, right? They have courses and one on one techs who can help you if you're struggling. And that's not just for borrowing tech either. If you're having a hard time checking email, using your smartphone, navigating government websites, and so on, libraries have people on hand who can usually assist you with those kinds of needs as well. One of my favorite things that I have found that libraries are starting to include is these high-tech maker spaces, right? They have all this equipment that ordinarily people couldn't afford to buy on their own, but you can access and play with it for free if you have a library card. So a lot of times they'll have 3D printers. Some of them have full recording studios, camera equipment, podcast studios, green screen rooms, sewing stations, laser cutters, milling machines. I have seen all sorts of crazy things offered by libraries. A lot of times they're called maker spaces or tech spaces, and they're amazing. Classes for those are usually free. Sometimes you might have to pay a small fee for materials. Our local library has a 3D printer, and you only pay for the amount of filament you use. So you can buy cute little things for 10 cents, 20 cents, a dollar. It really doesn't cost very much. And that's perfect for gifts and creative hobbies as well. There's a lot that you can do there. And you can use online websites to find free files and just print them at the library for a low cost. It's really neat. Now, libraries also allow you to borrow more than books. And I know we've talked about borrowing the internet, but it goes beyond that too. Many libraries now have what they call a library of things, where you can borrow household items, electronics, hobby gear. We've seen libraries that loan out sewing machines, even musical instruments. I saw at least one library that loans out drum sets. Not that I'd want my kids to have a drum set, but still. Um, a lot of them have GoPros, cake pans, telescopes, board games, all sorts of things. And a lot of those are stocked by request. So you can ask your library if they have a library of things. And if so, do they have the thing that you're looking for? And if they don't, maybe that's something that they can consider adding to their collection for you. This is awesome. Another fun part of this that I've seen is seed libraries. So you can go to the library, ask if they have a seed library, and then you can take home seeds to start growing your garden, which I think is really a neat feature. Our local library actually has a whole community garden area where you can check out like a planter box and grow stuff at the library as well. It's amazing what these community spaces have started coming up with to start filling some of these needs. Another fun feature that I've seen in some areas is free lessons and skill building courses. Now, I know for years libraries have offered things like, resume workshops or tech classes, things like that. But at least one library I found offered full-on music lessons for people teaching guitar, drums, all sorts of different things for free, which is an amazing benefit for people who can't ordinarily afford those kinds of courses. There are also all sorts of other skill building things. A lot of libraries also partner with things like Skillshare or Coursera, which you may have seen ads for on YouTube. They're big platforms with all sorts of different courses that can teach you all sorts of different skills, but usually you have to pay a subscription fee to unlock those and be able to use them. But you may be able to get that for free through your local library. I've seen libraries that work with Skillshare, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning. I might be called, or I think that used to be called lynda.com. Sometimes Universal Class, Mango Languages, all sorts of different things that are available there. So if there's a skill you've been wanting to learn, you may be able to learn it cheaper at your local library. Actually, that's kind of funny. I forgot this was on the next slide. But yeah, like I said, Skillshare, Mango Languages, all these different things that you can unlock with that library card, guys. I cannot overstate how much value this is because each one of these things usually charges you a fee, and you don't have to pay that if your library has a partnership with them. So, tremendous opportunities available there. And of course, this is another favorite of mine. A lot of libraries also have museum and event passes. So our family has used this in different areas where we've lived in the past. We've gone to the library to get free passes to children's museums, zoos, aquariums, even theaters and concerts in some cases. Now, the way that they do this is they usually give you some sort of printed pass or something that blocks off the days when your pass is valid. And then at the end of that period, someone else can claim a pass to go. So it's usually only available for a certain amount of people for certain dates. Usually you'll get either like two passes or maybe two adult passes, two kid passes. There's quantity limits, date restrictions, things like that that you do need to be mindful of. They usually don't cover special events. So I know like a lot of zoos do holiday light displays. Usually you're not going to be able to get into the evening holiday light display, but you could get general admission. And for some of the destinations that I've seen, this can be worth a lot. There's a lot of great places and cultural institutions and museums and zoos that just charge astronomical fees that will give you that admission for free if you pick up the pass from your local library. So I know California's got hundreds of destinations. Michigan has like 400 and something destinations that provide those library partnership tickets. Oh, yeah. One more thing is you can usually only check out one set of tickets at a time. So if you're going to the city and you want to visit three destinations in a single day, you're probably going to have to pick one and get that from the library. You can't usually check out multiple tickets at a time. just to make sure that there's something available for everybody, right? Hopefully, I made that clear. I really, really love this. And of course, if you've got an EBT card, there's thousands of destinations that offer free admission to EBT card holders as well. A lot of them also offer discounts to people with WIC or Medicaid. You can see all of those at lowincomerelief.com/EBT. We have a full list there. But for now, we'll move on because I don't want to bore you as we're talking about this. So, of course, there's other things your local library can help with as well. Libraries usually have meeting rooms that you can schedule for free. This is great if you have co-working needs, if you're hosting a meeting. When we were going to refinance our house, we actually met with our notary at the meeting room in our local library just to kind of make the commute easier for everyone. Some libraries also serve as access points for various social services. So sometimes they'll have someone on hand who can help you with SNAP applications, unemployment benefits, things like that. I've seen some libraries bring social workers in for workshops as well. And of course, if you've got kids or teens in your home, libraries are a great resource. I've seen them doing some incredible things for outreach for younger people, even those who might not be interested in books. Our local library has a VR room, a board game room, crafting classes, coding classes, all sorts of different things. So definitely look into that as well if you're looking for safe, fun activities for your kids and teens. Now, of course, if you're going to the library because you like free books, please don't forget to go to the link you see on screen and check out the free book that Chapter has given the low income relief audience. This is the #1 Amazon bestseller on Medicare, and it's yours free today if you opt into our email newsletter at the link that you see on screen. So that's all I have for you today about how libraries can save you money. Be sure to go check out our other videos for more ways that you can save money and get free stuff. I'll see you there.